My name is Drebin1512 and I play Team Fortress 2. When I was a child, I unlocked the Bonk Atomic Punch. I thought it was the best thing ever because it was an achievement item. To the outside world, I'm an irrelevant TF2 YouTuber, but secretly, I use my speed to troll engineers and taunt kill snipers. And today, I will find out, Bonk Atomic Punch, good or bad? I am the trash. Hey guys, what is going on? It's Drebin here, and today we're going to be reviewing the Bonk Atomic Punch. And before this video starts, I just want to say, making that little skit at the beginning, I just wanted to shoot myself because I had to use the replay editor, and you guys don't know true pain until you've used the goddamn replay editor. Let me show you what I had to go through.
Я, блядь, Я, блядь, Я, блядь, I gotta go to the other side.
So anyway, swiftly moving on, we're going to be talking about the Bonk Atomic Punch and discussing whether it is good or whether it is bad. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the Bonk Atomic Punch and what it does. So upon drinking it, you get 8 seconds of being invulnerable. And in this time of being invulnerable, you cannot shoot, you cannot cap, nor can you pick up intelligence, which is fair enough. And believe it or not, the Bonk Atomic Punch actually does have quite a lot of uses. I'm going to start off by running through some of the lesser ones. So to begin with, you can actually save your teammate's life by acting as a meat shield for them and getting in the way of the enemy's line of fire, so all the bullets hit you instead of them. You can actually reload your weapon whilst being invulnerable, so if you want a safe way of reloading your weapon, you can do so using the Bonk Atomic Punch. It's useful for blocking people. You can actually slow down pushes by getting in the way of people, and if someone actually does use an Uber charge, you can block them and try and stop them from getting towards the point, so by the time they've actually reached the point, their Uber has pretty much run out or is about to run out. You can act as a meat shield for an engineer's sentry, so say if a soldier or a demo man or a heavy is shooting the sentry, you can get in the way of projectiles and actually defend that sentry. You can perform atomizer jumps without taking any damage, which is actually a really good way of getting around the map. So those are some of the more gimmicky cool stuff you can do with the Bonk Atomic Punch. I'm now going to move on to what I believe its main uses are, and it has 3. Getting behind enemy lines, passing a sentry or helping to kill a sentry, and escaping. So being able to walk straight past the enemy completely unharmed is absolutely great. It actually allows me to get up to high priority targets and shoot them without all the riffraff having to get through everybody else. Like in this clip you can see right here, I dashed past everyone, and actually because I was in third person view, I could see the sniper was around the corner. I waited for my bonk to wear off, went round, shot him. Easy stuff. I really do find that the bonk is most useful on a game mode like payload, mainly because once you're behind the payload you've actually got a bit of room to hide in. You can go and peel off all those solo snipers, and then you can actually wait for a bit so the enemy doesn't really know that you're coming and they think that you've just wandered off somewhere, so you can basically come back to the payload, pick off those medics and really help the team out. Being able to get past sentries ties back into getting behind enemy lines. As a scout, one of your main weaknesses is actually sentries because you're not very effective at long range. So having the option for the Bonk Atomic Punch basically makes you invulnerable to sentries. You can just dash right past it. And provided that your team is with you, you can actually destroy sentries. You do this by drinking the bonk, getting up as close as you possibly can to the sentry so that the sentry specifically targets you, and then if your team's behind you, they can destroy the sentry whilst it's focusing on you. And it's actually a great alternative to taking out sentries in comparison to Uber Charge. Why wait for a medic to build up Uber Charge when I can run in with my Bonk Atomic Punch and have the team mop up after me? Now being able to have an escape as a scout is actually really handy because there are times where you're stuck in a corner behind enemy lines and, well, to put it quite bluntly, you're fucked. You're just absolutely fucked. But because you have that Bonk Atomic Punch, you can just get away scot-free. And actually in this clip here, you can see this heavy, I don't know what he's doing, he's shooting at someone else. But if I didn't have the Bonk Atomic Punch, I'm pretty certain I would have gotten killed. Now, I've listed all the positives of the weapon, now it's time to take a ginormous shit on it. So you know how I mentioned about being able to kill sentries with the bonk? Well, think again, because when you're trying to destroy a sentry with the bonk atomic punch, you are reliant on your teammates. And even though the sentry is clearly shooting at you, your teammates will be like, I don't want to do, Alright, look at this clip right here. I go in, I distract the sentry, and to be fair, the pyro does make an effort, but look at this demo man. What is going on here? He's just staring in space. I mean, just come on man, shoot the bloody thing. And another thing, the escape mechanism of the weapon doesn't really do its job half of the time, and this is mainly because you have to stand still, wait for the animation to happen, and then you get invulnerability, and it honestly just feels like forever having to wait for that animation, and half the time people will shoot you during that animation, even when you go and run behind cover, right, and you then use it. You're fucked. People still manage to kill you. In fact, I've actually got a montage of me getting killed halfway through the animation. Take a look.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. The night goes on as I'm fading away. I'm sick of this life, I just wanna scream.
And if you're standing still with no access to any of your weapons or any way to fight back, well my friend, let me tell you what you are. You're F-U-C-K-E-D. What does that spell? Fucks! Just having that animation just really just ruins the escape mechanic, and I get it. It'd be a bit unfair if you could just use it instantly, but is there any way we could just make it faster, or have it so I could move whilst the animation is occurring? Another issue which comes along with the weapon is it really doesn't actually offer you any advantages whilst you're in a fight. Now there's been plenty of times where I've run out of shots on my scatter gun and I've needed to swap to the pistol to finish them off, but oh no, I've got the bonk atomic punch in that slot, and it's not like I can drink the bonk atomic punch to escape, because as we mentioned, the animation is as slow as a fat kid at sports day, and there's plenty of better options, such as the Mad Milk or the Criticola. Also, a real gripe that I have with the bonk atomic punch is there's no way to cancel your invulnerability. I've had it plenty of times where I've arrived at the location I want to, there's someone in front of me and it's just such a guaranteed kill, but no, I've got to wait for my invulnerability to end, and by the time that it's ended they've kind of just ran away, or one of their buddies has arrived and there's nothing really I can do. And lastly, I just find it such a slow way to play Scout. A lot of the times I can simply get behind enemy lines by using the fan or taking alternative routes. It's very rare I won't be able to get behind them, and I don't necessarily need the bonk atomic punch to do that. In fact, by the time I've drunk the bonk atomic punch, I could be halfway across the goddamn map. So really, to give a straightforward answer and conclude this review, I believe the bonk atomic punch, I'm afraid, it's bad. You may have other opinions, and that's absolutely fine. But after playing with the weapon for a good couple of days, I've just been finding it a bit impractical to use. It's really given me no advantages at all, and it's just so much simpler and easier ways to kill people, and really not having that pistol or Mad Milk in your secondary slot or Criticola, I do find really does hurt you sometimes. And the key features of the weapon supposedly offers, it fails to do that as well. Half the time you don't actually escape, and as I've mentioned before, there's alternative ways to get behind enemy lines. Ultimately, I just find the weapon is a bit more of a gimmick, it's something to have fun with, it's great fun to get taunt kills with, but ultimately if I'm trying to play the game properly, I wouldn't use it. Now as always, at the end of these videos, I like to give a bit of suggestions on what I would do to improve the weapon, because there's no point me taking a crap on it, ever not giving any suggestions on how to make it better. So one of the first ideas I had is that you get resistance once bonk has ended. So once your invulnerability has ended, maybe you could have a bit of rocket resistance or bullet resistance, so that way, once you're up in people's faces, you actually have more of a chance of surviving. And in terms of how long you'd have the resistances for, I'd probably say about 5 to 6 seconds, because that's just about enough time for you to go and engage the enemy and actually make use of those resistances. Another way I'd improve it is to give you a mobility boost or a jump height increase whilst you are invulnerable. This actually gives you a reason to use the bonk when it comes to travelling around the map, and actually on the odd occasion when you're trying to sneak through people, people can block you. Yes, some people will block you, sometimes you get air blasted by pyros, so having the ability to jump over them or outmaneuver them would just get rid of this problem completely. And finally, I've actually mentioned these two things throughout the video, but I feel like first of all, being able to move whilst the animation is occurring would help this weapon out massively. Because I could be halfway through a fight, and then I drink the Bonk Atomic Punch and I actually have a chance of surviving, and the enemy, to be fair, also has their chance to shoot me. So I think it's a fair trade-off. And out of all the things, I feel like this would benefit the weapon the most, as then you actually have a proper way of escaping as the scout. And I feel like the ability to be able to cancel your invulnerability would be very useful. So I could walk up to someone completely invulnerable, cancel my invulnerability, and then bish bash bosh, I can shoot them. You know, I don't have to be waiting around with my goddamn stick up my arse whilst I wait for my invulnerability to wear off. But sometimes the path you're travelling just leads you into the face of an enemy, and you just need to pull your weapon out and shoot them, but you can't because you're stuck in invulnerability. So anyway, this is going to end the review of the Bonk Atomic Punch. I hope you enjoyed the review. It's taken me a bit of time to put it together, mainly because of the skit at the beginning. Post what you think about the Bonk Atomic Punch in the comments. I mean, do you disagree with me? Is there something that I've missed? Because I'd actually quite like to know, because I do want this weapon to be viable. And is there a certain way that you play the Bonk Atomic Punch that works for you, that I could possibly use? I'd really like to know. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up now. For watching, have a nice day, and of course, goodbye.
The freaking card stopped!